Everybody, so instead of a tutorial, I figured today we would start talking about our Art 2026 goals and how to make them not only achievable, but realistic, and make them also like exactly what we want. So we're not sitting here going, well, I want to draw better. Well, what does that mean? Because everybody wants to draw better. That doesn't necessarily mean that is a good goal. Right, it needs to be very specific. So we're going to break down our goals for 2026. I'm just going to put, let's put it, all right, so we're just going to put 2026 goals up here. I'm just going to specify these are art goals. So if you want to follow along, all I did so far, I'm doing all of this in Krita. Usually I have a notebook, but my new planner hasn't come in yet. So we're doing it all in Krita. I think that'd be funner anyway, because it's like, our goals, Krita, it makes sense, right? All I did was I made a vector layer and I just made 3 shapes. And we'll break those down like as we go on. So the first one is just the general goals, right? So the things I want to accomplish. So obviously, like you would want to improve art, but then we're going to do specifics. I'm actually going to break it down into, we're going to do large, medium, and small. I think if we explain it this way, it'll make much more sense when we're done. Okay. So the first large goal is, I'm just gonna put this at an angle so it's easier for me to write because I'm right-handed. So if this bothers you, I apologize, but this is just easier to write with. For the large goals, I want to do more illustrations. And like as a goal, that's not bad, but it's not very achievable. We want to break it down. So the medium would be create. So we're basically taking the large to break it down to the medium and then breaking it down into smaller tasks. So that way throughout the year, I can actually, meet this goal of making more illustrations. Create more complete environments with characters. And we're going to break it down to even smaller goal. So create simple backgrounds. Oh, it's a little large. Simple backgrounds and environments. Or I'll say, actually, we'll just leave it there because I think that works. So now I have my main goal of illustrations. I'm breaking it down into something more specific, which is creating more complete environments with characters. And I'm taking that and I'm moving that into a much more achievable task, which is creating simple backgrounds and environments. I'll put with characters. So now I have a goal of making more illustrations, but I've broken it down into something that I know I can do throughout the year, which is a simple background and environment, meaning I'm not doing complex things like my city illustration tutorial that I just don't have time for that right now. But I can take something like that and create a simpler background or environment for a proper illustration. So what I can also do, I'm actually going to mark this off here. I'm just going to make that one goal. Is study environments and illustrations. So that means looking at how other artists create their work. There is a site called Colosso. Is it Colosso? Colosso.global, I think it is, or .us. I don't remember which one they switched to. They have courses, so maybe saving up and taking a course on creating environments that will make life easier on me, that because that's something I struggle with. A lot of artists struggle with it, and I would like to get better. So student environments and illustrations, and recreate environments by other artists. And that, as you see in my Sketch Sunday videos, sometimes I'll redraw some scenes from anime or whatever, just so I can practice poses or style or whatever, just to see how something is done. And that's a really good way to study. So I think if I can do that, I think my illustration work would really, really improve. So that's one way to make your goals for 2026. Just make your large goal. You want to work at illustrations. Well, how can you break that down into a smaller chunk? And it's basically you want to create more complete environments and you want to study them. And then you can break that down even further into a smaller, more achievable goal, which is recreating what other people have done already or studying what they've done. And then giving yourself a proper task of just make simple backgrounds to start with. And from there, you can either become much faster at it, you can become better. There's just a lot of improvement and learning that goes on between these. So for me, this is kind of businessy, but not, is my comic strip. So we need to create monthly, right? Now, this may not seem like a large goal, but when you don't have a lot of free time, it can become really a pretty daunting task, especially when you have a million other things you're doing and creating. It almost feels like you don't have time to sit down and kind of think through the story of it. So we can take that and break it down. So what I can do is write all scripts for the year. And I can even further that and sketch as ideas happen. And this part right here is basically just breaking down the brainstorming and the story part for the comic strip. So I have less to think about when I go to actually draw it. And then the small task would be, first of all, to actually draw it. But I can also say I can do one panel a week. So create 1 to 2 panels a week. And then for the speech bubbles, that can be like a 1 week process. So 1 week for lettering. And realistically, that's perfect. You know, that way this gives me some flexibility if I am busy during the week, or maybe a particular month work is just insane and we just have tons of projects coming in. That means that I have a little bit more flexibility, and if I can't do 1 or 2 panels a week, which the comic strips are only like maybe 4, I at least can say, okay, what script can I use that only uses maybe 2 to 3 panels so I can accomplish this goal? And then by giving myself 1 week for lettering, I can choose maybe a comic strip has almost very little talking going on or very little conversation. I just have more flexibility in my approach in finishing things. And that is going to set me up better for success than me sitting here and saying, oh, I got 3 scripts done, but I have to go sketch it all in a week. That's just not realistic. It's just not. I tried that and that did not work. No, it did not. All right, I'm just going to add one more goal in here just so we have something else to go off of. I'm actually going to do a goal of design. I'm pretty confident in my characters and how they look and everything, but I think they could be better. I think they could drastically improve, and I could use a good refresher in what makes a good character design. So this is going to be similar to illustrations. So we're going to create more cohesive character designs. And we're going to study. We're going to do games, movies, etc. And then for a smaller goal to kind of improve this, I can take my existing characters and put them in really weird scenarios, but restyle their outfits and how they look. So we can recreate existing characters in new outfits. And I guess situation's not the right word. And then we can recreate existing characters in other character outfits. So for example, I can take, let's see, I've been watching Dawn to Dawn lately. I love that show. It's so good. It's just good. I can take one of my characters and say, I really like Momo's outfit, or I like the school uniform, or I like her grandmother's outfit for like the rituals and stuff like that. I can take any of that and say, I want to put my character in that outfit just to see how it looks, just to, as a study, you know, making it fun using my character. And that's going to keep it interesting and goofy and more achievable because I'm actually having fun with it, right? All right, so that's kind of like how you can start breaking down your art goals for 2026 and making them more achievable and more manageable by separating them out into your large goal right here and then breaking it down into smaller, like achievable tasks. So we identify the large goal. We say, okay, what about this large goal do we want to do, which is create more complete environments, write more scripts for the year, create more cohesive character designs, and then we have these smaller tasks to do throughout the year to get to this large goal. So if you're stuck with your own art goals or you're not sure how to achieve them, this is going to be the best thing you can do. So if you have any 2026 art goals and you want to work towards them, I do have a Discord server, which every year, and I try to do every quarter, but I haven't been keeping up with mine, but we talk about our goals, what we're trying to jump back on. Sometimes we fall off the wagon, and that's absolutely okay. It's just how life is. But we kind of support each other with the goals. And you can actually share some personal goals. It doesn't have to be art related. Some goals people have done are just like exercising more, or at least stretching more, making sure we're not sitting for, gazillion years. Just being more active, things like that, or doing smaller tasks of just reading more, for example, getting outside, things like that. So if you want to join a community that's pretty chill and to share your art goals and help keep yourself accountable, or get some ideas on how to achieve them, or even get an opinion if yours are too big or need to be broken down into smaller chunks like this, definitely join the server. The whole purpose is to help each other out and keep each other like motivated and letting each other know it's okay if you fall off the bandwagon a bit, because we all have done it, all of us, especially me. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Let me know what your goals are or what you would like to try and achieve in 2026. And let's make it a good year. And I'll see you in the next video.